This is Dave Crosby, and the reason why we're doing this video this way, if you take a look at Dave's neck right there, Dave has a trachea, and Dave wanted to relay a message to everybody watching this. He says that even no matter what kind of a disability you have, you can do anything you put your mind to. So we asked Dave a series of questions about the Blue Mountain Eagle Climbing Club. So how long have you been a member of the Blue Mountain Eagle Climbing Club? Dave wrote, I've been a member since 1982. What made you join the Blue Mountain Eagle Climbing Club? I am grateful that the Appalachian Trail exists and was glad that I was able to have so much fun hiking on it. When I found out that the trail was maintained by volunteers, I wanted to give back to this group. While you never really pay it back, you always pay it forward to the next generation of hikers. What were some of your roles in the past and in the present? Over the years, I've been a trail maintainer, a trail commodore monitor, shelters committee chairman, shelter builder, cabin caretaker, Eckville shelters caretaker, backcountry sanitizer engineer at our shelters, toilets, and hike leader, and I occasionally helped out with work at the club's Arboretum property in Burnville. What do you love about Blue Mountain Eagle Climbing Club? The club is made up of people from all walks of life, brought together by a common love of the outdoors. We all have different skill sets, experiences, but we come together as a group to help each other preserve the Appalachian Trail and enjoy the outdoors. The club tends to bring out the best in people. What trail tale would you like to share about Blue Mountain Eagle Climbing Club? Back in 1987, 1988 is when we began building the Eagle's Nest shelter, and we started the log shelters on the club's property in Burville, PA, because the property had easy access for all our members, but we knew that getting the shelter moved to the final location was going to be a huge problem. At the time, I known some other clubs in New England were using helicopters to airlift supplies to remote locations and to remove waste and trash from these sites. I contacted the PA Air National Guard several times with a request of help and kept getting the same response. This falls outside the military jurisdiction, but I persisted, and by dumb luck, I happened to call the office of the Adjutant General, the top guy for the Air National Guard in Pennsylvania, and on a day when he was in the office himself, he picked up the phone and we talked. He told me that he was a believer in community service training exercises and told me how to word a written proposal for the airlift, then told me to send it to his personal attention, in which he passed the normal military chain of command. And on that day, we wanted to move the shelter. He provided a CH-54 helicopter to lift the log cabin shelter and 4 bundles of additional logs, and that we needed to finish the shelter from the club's property in Burville, PA, and its final location along the Appalachian Trail. So when I say that the Appalachian Trail and the club tend to bring out the best in people, this is an example of what I mean. What would you like people to know about your legacy? During my 27-year tenure as shelters chairman, I had the privilege to oversee construction of 2 shelters and to oversee the reconstruction of a 3rd one. During each of these projects, we relied heavy on the knowledge and experience of club members to make these projects come to life. We had club members teaching other club members the basic skills in carpentry, log building, and trail construction and site preparation, and the logistics of getting the tools and supplies to these sites. There wasn't a single problem that we encountered that we weren't unable because of someone in the club knowing what to do. And I think this is what brings out the best in folks together in projects. What we could share to individual talents was important. What's your favorite place on the Appalachian Trail and why? My favorite place has been the Pinnacle. The footprints in this area is a variety and rockiness as it gets anywhere in Pennsylvania. The views are fantastic. On a clear day, you can see beyond the gap in the mountains where the Lehigh River cuts through the ridge. But for me personally, the Pinnacle was the beginning of my greatest understanding of the outdoors. I remember as a freshman in college that the college outdoor club planned an outdoor backpacking trip that included camping out in the Pinnacle in December. These days, that isn't allowed. For weeks prior to the trip, the temperature had been unusually warm, but that night the temperatures plummeted into the teens. But the two of us spent a very cold, uncomfortable night shivering in our tents. After that trip, we have never seen half of the group again. But during the post-trip analyzation, the rest of us decided that if we were going to keep on doing this sort of thing, we need to get a better gear. We already had the mindset that the outdoors was a great place to spend time, but for now, we began to understand the uncertainties amount of preparation before the trip, and the post-trip analyzation afterwards was necessary for a great experience.